3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 568. I am Brian Kilby, and with me this week we have a pared down crew. We have Diecast, who is fiddling with something. What are you playing with there?
I'm trying to transform one of the things I got this week.
So,
and just to remind everyone, hashtag Unicron before Seacons.
Yeah, no. Violent Jagger before Unicron. That's the new official.
I thought your hashtag was get Unicron made.
Well, it is, but either one.
Yeah,
we'll go with 2.
Yeah. We also have Matt. Matt, how's it going?
Good. And just to remind Diecast that the official stance of Radio Free Cybertron is hashtag Seacons before Unicron.
It is the official stance. It's kind of funny. Like, I'm looking at you guys. You guys are beside of each other, and even though it's clearly not the same room, for whatever reason, to me visually, it just becomes one gigantic Transformers display.
It does kind of blend.
It does, sort of. But Don's display is kind of at an angle. You can't see it there. Hey, Don.
Hey, the unofficial third-party stance is me a Unicron lamp before Unicron.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Okay, that works. Are you really going to buy one?
If I could find one and I could live with myself every time I looked at it,
Don, you can live with it. You can live with it.
I live with it.
Computer, erase that entire personal log. Chris, how's it going?
I have pizza. I'm pretty happy.
I had pizza. It was delicious.
But it's not from Pizza Inn, and therefore it's not the best pizza possible.
Well, I never got to have Pizza Inn when I was in that area-ish. I think that's the Virginia thing, right? So it's all been a little bit
more Carolina, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had it in North Carolina, but, Rob, how's it going?
Not too bad.
I hear you tried to record a podcast last night. How did that go?
Could have gone better. Like I said, that my one friend, his microphone was not working, so we got everything his phone picked up. That may yet go up on my YouTube channel filters. So, it was a good conversation though. So,
Gundam?
The Gundam Battle Operation 2 beta that happened this last weekend.
Oh, very cool.
I was up at 6 a.m. for that.
Oh God! So, just a warning to everybody watching live. By the time you hear this, it'll. Well, I guess it still will be accurate or fair. Do not go on the internet because there will be Avengers spoilers.
Oh.
I am avoiding the internet over the next day.
I'm glad I don't care at all.
Yeah. I hear there's superheroes in this movie.
Oh God, Don. Okay, let's go ahead and
well, 1 or 2, yeah.
Let's move along. So, hey, just a couple things I wanted to mention up front. So we're going to test this. Hopefully we'll also do it next week, depending if it goes well. After our live stream of Radio Free Cybertron goes off, we go into post-show. We're going to repurpose post-show at least for the next couple weeks to test out Don's show. It's a Don deal. It's a Don deal as a call-in show. And you can call us at our voicemail line. We will actually pick up 931-99-GO-BOT. That's 931-994-6268. So be watching on Twitter and all that stuff at TF Radio to know when we are going to go on the air in the future, whenever it is, whether it's post-show or not. Call in, and you can talk to Don and whoever else is here. So, Don, what do you want to talk about this evening?
Well, it's the show is, like I said, this is sort of the test run. If there's a topic you want to discuss with me, or you want to hear my thoughts on the subject, if you have something that you want to sell that's unique, or you want to reach other people, other fans, that you think this is something the fans would enjoy, or if there's a news topic you want us to bring up that we didn't bring up in the show, it's going to be a very open format. I do want to try to get some of the sales items in there because, the original idea of It's a Don Deal was to go back to the old, if your parents or grandparents, when they listen to the radio, there'll be radio call-in shows like, "Hi, I'm Bill. I've got a tractor that I'm selling."
I've actually done that. Like, I've actually been...
Right.
When I worked in radio, I had to do that. And I will admit, it's kind of mind-numbing and infuriating, but I'm willing to do that for the listeners. So, Don and I are sacrificing ourselves for this.
Yeah. Well, we can sacrifice ourselves for life on planet Earth.
Yes, but it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh God, I just made a dubbed reference.
Yes, you did. 931-994-6268. Also, hey,
terrible.
Apparently we're on Spotify, which I didn't know that till today.
Nice.
So
what is Spotify?
How did that happen
a music
without
service.
you knowing?
I've heard the name, but I've never researched it.
Like, I signed up months and months and months and months and months ago to, like, get on. And I never got a confirmation or anything that I was on. And I just looked today and, hey, we were there.
And then suddenly spotting.
Yeah, and suddenly spotting. So Spotify is a streaming music service, which, oh God, it's a stream. I wish I hadn't repeated that. It's a music streaming service that, because they decided that music wasn't enough, they branched out to other things, including podcasts. I'm not a big fan of Spotify as a podcast service, but I do know that there are people out there like my buddy Jason who use it exclusively. So if you use Spotify and use it for podcasts and you're listening to us somewhere else because you just had to, well, we're now on Spotify. Just search for Radio Free Cybertron. So, hey, that's something. I'm sure we'll probably get like 3 downloads a week from that.
My favorite Spotify story is Ringo Starr and Jeff Lynne from Electric Light Orchestra. I think it was, put out a song on Spotify, got really good numbers, and it's like, hey, if we'd done this back in like 1967, we'd have made a fortune. I think we can go get snacks.
Yeah. Music industry's changed a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, so we're on Spotify. I don't actually, again, use it for podcasts, but I played around with ours today, and it actually sounded good. It loaded fast. So, we're on Spotify, yay! Okay. Hey, did anybody get anything this week? I'll start, because I did. I got the Combiner Force Soundwave and Laserbeak. I don't know why, I just happened to see them on the shelf, and I decided that I wanted them. I really like it. All things considered.
Is that the 3-step changer, or
it's a couple of steps more than 3 steps, but it's effectively like a 3-step changer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like fairly simple. It's got some mechanical stuff in it. Yeah, if this were a different line, a different price point, it would be one of those toys where you turn a hinge or something and it transforms. It's not quite like that, but it's basically that class. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. And I like the look of it, and I like the fact that Laserbeak is a target master.
You know what? I want a 1-step changer transformer that's a Ford Model T, and you turn the starter crank, and that's what transforms.
That would be awesome.
Well, there was concept art a long time ago for, I don't know where it came from, but it was like cars throughout history done as transformers. It was like a whole series of artwork. When it was a Model T in there, and it had, the crank became like
I think that was from the movie.
It could have been, actually.
Yeah,
maybe it was. I remember there was like black and white photos.
Revenge of the Fallen. Actually, I think they explained.
That's why I forgot about it, because it's such a movie and doesn't deserve to be remembered. Okay.
Oh God! Now we have the chat is basically exclusively doing hashtag this before that. Which Megazord right now, Megazord Unicron before Unicron. Or Unicorn. No. Unicron before Unicron. Okay.
Yeah, there was already a Unicorn Megazord.
Gotcha. Interesting. I also got I don't even know why I bought it. It was just a dumb random purchase. The Movie the Best 09 Dino Ride Grimlock and Optimus Prime. I decided that I want...
It's very pretty.
Yeah, I like the color on it. I think amongst my friends, the whole Optimus riding Grimlock has sort of become like a ha-ha thing for me. So, like my friends here, because like people will send me photos of Optimus riding Grimlock. Somebody bought me a print of somebody of G1 Optimus riding G1 Grimlock. So, I don't know, it's a thing. But I got
I'd want to take the riding Optimus and see if it fits, say, SH Figuarts Yoshi.
Ooh, I probably would. I didn't know there was a Figuarts Yoshi.
I'm pretty sure there is.
There probably is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
know
I
it's
have
Mario and
one.
Luigi. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I have Yoshi.
So I'm assuming the tongue is detachable, right? Or is it a separate
I
head?
have to check. He's still in the box.
Gotcha. In the chat, Rodimus Supreme, who I was verbally sparring with earlier, but I do respect, and we give each other mutual crap, said Revenge of the Fallen was going to have Ransack be a Model T, which later is used as a biplane. So,
which is actually one of the most innovative figures they did for. There's a lot of good scouts in the movie, in the various movie lines. I will admit that.
Revenge of the Fallen had a lot of toys just to start with, and so by mathematical ability, quite a number of them were actually interesting and or good.
You're exactly right. That's how it works.
I will put it this way: I enjoyed more toys out of the Revenge of the Fallen toy line than any other movie line. I think that's just because of the sheer volume of toys.
Oh God, which toy was it that had the SWAT vehicle? Was it Revenge of the Fallen?
I think that was the first movie.
Was that Breacher?
Breacher, yes.
Breacher was Revenge of the Fallen, I think.
Breacher's a great toy. Wheelie's a great toy.
Yeah. Because Breacher was being shown with Sea Spray a lot.
Yeah, they didn't have scouts of actual movie characters or movie style designs for the first movie, and then by the time Dark of the Moon came out, scouts weren't really viable anymore. That size class was like the Human Alliance little figures took over what had been the scout price point. So Revenge of the Fallen would have been the only time we could have had scouts like that.
Man, sadness. Yeah, and I got Cyber Battalion Jetfire, and Cyber Battalion Jetfire is I thought I was gonna hate it, but I kind of like it. I mean, it's a crappy transformation, obviously, but it's
got a lot of fiddle value. If you're just sitting watching something, you just you change him and change him back, and it's like swoosh and for such.
It's nowhere near as nice as Prowl, because Cyber Battalion Prowl is excellent, but robot mode I like. Vehicle mode feels a little bit compressed. So
I keep hoping to find a Shockwave, but I saw Sideswipe, but no Shockwaves.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, I've been looking, but no luck. So, okay, let's go ahead and move along. Matt, what'd you get?
No one will ever know because I'm not allowed to talk about things that aren't Transformers related.
Go ahead. I just saw your comment in the chat. I agree. I agree.
No.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Hey, so while we're talking about it, then I got classic yellow Voltron Lion for like $8 at Target. If anybody can find the rest and help me out on clearance, let me know. Diecast, what'd you get? I see a bunch of boxes back there, and I am super jealous of one.
I got the Mastermind Creations Drift.
Wait a minute, Matt.
Came with the little extra Mastermind Creations.
I thought Flame Toys did that.
No, this is not a licensed one, Don.
No, this is the transformable.
Oh, okay.
Ater Beta or whatever.
The cape's throwing you off, isn't it?
Okay. I didn't know there was two of those drifts in that kind of size.
Yeah. Well, he's
because it's drift. I don't really care.
Yeah. But I liked Arrow so much. I think this is Arrow. I forget his name. I liked him so much. I figured I'd get Drift to go with him.
No.
So.
No.
Why not, Don?
I'm a strange one.
Don,
but that's
Don,
what happened.
move your camera down.
Attack.
He wants his window up, and I'm telling him no.
Oh, well. There you go.
I just took my cat's bedroom away, so if that's the case, Massey's going to be okay.
No. He knows what no means.
Oh, dear God. That's so light.
Oh, you suck. Where'd you get that from?
Chosen Prime.
He got his Grand Maximus. I'm so jealous.
That is so pretty on such a crappy, terrible toy.
And the head was really hard to get on for some reason. And then when I finally got it on, he yelled, "Head on!"
Did he?
Yeah.
Awesome!
And I forgot to transform the head, transform the head, so that's why his arms and legs are all kind of all over the place.
Good job, Diecast.
Are there any-
You forgot how to transform one of the simplest things to transform that's come out in the last few years.
Yep.
Kim is going to be so pissed off when she sees mine come in.
Is there any Master Force music built in? Did they change? Did they put any Master
I don't
Force
think
themes?
there's any music at all.
Yeah, there's no
Aw.
music, but I think the voices are different, maybe. So
Probably.
I got that.
I'm so jealous.
I'm anxiously awaiting Big Bad Toy Store shipment to come in.
So
I can get
And
mine.
then, in a lack of judgment, I bought this.
So
That's a
so
No,
so this is Cybertron, the last night Toys R Us version,
Yes.
or the toy, obviously the repaint of Primus.
Cybertron Primus.
So, but he got that. How much did you pay for it?
It was strange. It was 15% off,
Plus
and then
10%.
they put another 10% on
Okay,
it.
so I went to the Toys R Us that Chris visited on the way back home. He said was the smallest Toys R Us he's ever
Hickory,
been to. Yeah, the Hickory store. It doesn't even look like they're closing. Yeah, I mean, I have never seen it so well stocked as it is right now. And I got triplet Thundercracker, and I got myself another which I forgot about. But yeah, so it was like 15% off the toy, and then it said at this location only, take an additional 10% off, which
Yeah.
I assume because they're still getting so much stock. Like every other Toys R Us I've been to, they look like they're closing. That one did not.
Mine is still very well stocked because they just got in a bunch of Marvel Legends, a bunch of the Infinity War stuff, the Power Rangers Legacy stuff with Zenizer,
Yeah.
and other stuff. So mine is probably actually, Brian, mine is the smallest one left in the chain.
I think they're. I was sitting outside of yours, and it looks like the exact same store. So they could be the same format and same size. But I guess where I was going with that is the one in Hickory still has 2 of those Cybertrons left, which I didn't expect to see any. So maybe people luck out and can still get them. Maybe they might hit the 20% off. I don't expect. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of Hickory, did you ever find that comic shop?
I did not.
It's okay. I went there on my way home. It wasn't that great. It's where I got that Thomas Riker figure.
Yeah, so they used to have G1 stuff. I don't know if they still did.
The location they're in now, like just looking at the outside of that storefront where it used to be, I think it's a smaller location. Also, they probably downsized quite a bit.
And also, it's so crazy that the comic shop in Winston that Don was talking about, that Don goes to, Selfish, has Diaclone, Dinobots, and this is exactly the sidetrack conversation that our person in the chat was talking about.
Yeah.
Pre-show.
That's why I enjoy doing the show.
Yes.
The Toys R Us that I went to still had 4 Primuses.
Wow.
I think I bought. Now they're down to 3 after I got one. But I think the next day they dropped it to 20%, but they took off that additional 10%.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's probably about the same anyway.
Not far off, yeah.
Yeah. And then for the next Die Pop cast, I got 2 pop figures,
Nice.
the Cat in the Hat and Sam I Am.
They look so different.
Yes.
They're so unique and
So,
collectible.
yeah, they're very different.
Awesome. Chris didn't get anything you said. Rob, what about you?
Not a thing.
And we have been joined by the amazing, the wonderful John DeLuna. John, did you pick up anything this week?
I got Battletrap, whatever they call him these days. He's fine. He's actually no, he's not fine. I take it back. The helicopter side. Which one is he?
Battle Slash.
Okay, Battle. Okay,
It's so weird to have individual names.
so he's the so the combined robot is fine. The 2 separate robots, specifically him, the helicopter one, is so like overly complicated. It's a little bit maddening to me because he's so small and he only has 3 modes. I know that's 1 extra mode, but he's got like all he has to do is pull off some semblance of a helicopter, a reasonable small robot, and then a torso, a robot from the waist up. And his his design and his transformation is so like overwrought and complicated given the toy's size that it was it took me aback. So I mean, I can't imagine like a toy that size, I should be able to just look at it and know how to transform it. And I had to like go step by step on both sides of the instructions to make sure I got him just right. And for a toy that size, which is Legends-ish, I don't know. I found that disappointing, a little frustrating, and just putting myself in like the mind of a 6 or 7 year old, which is really weird. Saying it was like third party issues, I don't think correct, but it was just oddly over designed. It took me aback. I was expecting the exact opposite. I was expecting a very simple, 5-step transformation or whatever, but his arms are going every which way, and there's 3 or 4 joints in his shoulders, and things are flipping and flying and going backwards and forwards, and double jointed elbows, and legs become arms, and it was just a really strange experience, kind of wrestling with a small toy as much as you have to. So the combined mode's fine, like I said, but the individual robot, specifically that helicopter, it's crazy complicated. So other than that, though, I got nothing.
Oh, I muted while I was doing some research here. Yeah. I'm so weirded out by that toy because in my mind, Battletrap is very much a single unit, and it's just odd to me that it's odd in a good way that they've expanded on what that toy is and what the character in quotes is.
Sure. I also like in my head, since I have only the G1 toy to compare, like he's effectively a one-step transformer, like in G1. Yeah. And this is like the opposite. So it's a very weird experience.
So for whatever reason, this strikes to me is similar to the combining Minicon set. What was the name of that?
Cybertron.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the toy just kind of seems kind of like this. I don't know. It's cohesive, but at the same time, it has like that weird little sort of kind of waist, I guess, and it seems like it's almost hourglass shaped. Just sort of has a weird look to it.
Yeah. I can see that. And like I said, like just my biggest thing with the toy is it's just kind of like this lavish transformation design, which I think is not only unnecessary, but is just the polar opposite of the original toy and kind of the spirit of Duocons, where you just slam them together. And they do that in RID. I mean, we've seen much simpler versions of that. We've effectively seen the G1 Duocon kind of idea in the last few months of the other lines. It's just weird. It's weird to see this kind of design philosophy applied to a toy and a character which is kind of crafted around the nostalgia of a 35-year-old, and it's designed not to play into your memories of that original toy at all.
Do you feel that like the Power Links gimmick was sort of like the spiritual successor of that, or was that too complicated because you had to go through those transformation steps?
I think it was closer, for sure. I don't know. This was, like I said, this was just a weird experience. It was kind of, I don't know. How do you tap into your 30 and 40-year-old nostalgia? There's endless ways to do it. The way they did it here was just kind of strange. I mean, they made Battletrap. Like I said, Battletrap, he exists to attract the nostalgic crowd. And like I said, like in the character choice and how he vaguely looks makes sense for that. And then you crack him open and you need a master's degree to transform.
I don't actually have a Battletrap, but I have 2 flywheels. And I'm looking at one of them right now, and God, that toy is 30 years old.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for sure.
She's okay.
Uh-huh.
Something that's 10 years old. Let's go ahead and jump to This Week in History. 10 years ago. 10 years ago. What? Don. I thought we asked.
No, you.
I was going to throw.
The second week in a row you did that too.
Yes, it is.
Don's mad now.
Don, I didn't get anything.
Now, most of my stuff is in transit. Some new stuff at the beginning. I have been working my backlog. Mech Fan Toys Dinobots. They're very nice.
How do they compare to the Fans
Shigura.
Toys? How do they compare to Fans Toys?
Yeah.
They're probably a lot better.
Open up, Chigura. I'm working. But I did pick up Studio Series Starscream, but I'm debating whether I'm keeping him or not, just because I've watched the reviews. He looks good, but do I really need another movie Starscream? So
Yes.
I'm debating whether to keep
Get
him
rid
or
of
not,
all the other
'cause-
ones.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, yeah, but then what do I do with that $5 that I get from all the rest of the Starscreams?
Hashtag Dononomics.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I may keep them. I may not. I haven't decided yet. But I've got that. I got some other stuff coming in, but right now that's all I picked up was that, and that's it.
I'm glad you mentioned Chigger, or however you pronounce it.
Chigurha.
Chigurha. Chigurha. So I was looking at something this week that somebody had posted. Either a crazy collector or somebody who runs a store had a picture of the Weijing Omega Supreme beside of Alchicus Mywallatus, beside of DX9 Gabriel. And I've always maintained that Alchicus Mywallatus looked the best of all of them. But side by side, I gotta say, I like to look at Gabriel the best. It's
That's
not.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's not by a wide margin, but one, I give a slight edge to Gabriel, and also considering that it's a little cheaper as well.
And comes in one part.
Comes in one part. While I don't do third-party Masterpiece stuff, if Takara is very likely to release the toy, I don't ever see that happening. I might break down and get a Gabriel.
I think for my purposes, if I was ever going to get one of these Masterpiece scale Omega Supremes, it'd probably defer to whichever one leans hardest into the playset aspect of the alternate mode, because that's where you're going to get the most mileage out of any Omega Supreme, in my opinion.
Well, they did show off that they were doing the Guardian version of Gabriel, and I'm planning on getting that one, because that way I can have both molds and not double dip on the same Omega. But I have seen pictures where I think it was one of the two was actually holding the Evil Star version of Astro Train, the more steam locomotive version, was actually holding him in the claw and was able to support it. And it was, and that's a full size third party triple changer, and it was like no problem. Like from the opening of the cartoon when he grabs him out of the in the cartoon. So I also do like the Weijing one, but it's the least one of the three that I won't. But I hope they do a really interesting recolor like Omega Supreme. That'd be nice.
Oh, that'd be crazy. So two things real quick. One, while we're talking about this, Diecast just shared a link to Taobao where Gabriel's $180. Now I don't know how much shipping is.
Shipping's
A
gonna
lot.
be expensive.
But
yeah.
I mean, expect another $100.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
I would say maybe not quite that much, but
Close.
aim high.
Yeah. So
that would be what I would expect.
Right.
So with my birthday coming up, I may change what I want to Gabriel. Seriously. Two, because I've got to talk about. I plug it every chance I get. Join us live every week because it's awesome. We have a great chat on tfradio.net/live, and also on our Facebook live stream. We have people who comment there as well. And I just saw our buddy Kevin Lucas from Unicron.com. He said his hashtag was Unicron before all. Or everything.
Yes, Kevin's awesome.
He is an awesome dude.
Kevin is awesome.
Yeah, so there you go. It makes sense. He's a little biased.
A little bit, yeah.
So so going to this week in history, 10 years ago today, or 10 years ago this week, the first day of BotCon 2008. This was the last let's see if I can get this out. This was the last non-California BotCon that I missed. And if I wasn't getting married that year, I would have been there. So, John...
Where was 2008?
It was in Cincinnati. That's an easy trip. But again, I was getting married and I just couldn't do it. John and Don were both there, right?
Yeah.
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 That was the Shattered Glass set. How was that BotCon?
I guess it was fine. They all blend. At this point, Brian, they all really blend. I remember bits in 96 stands out because it's always the disaster.
Men in Black.
94 stands out because it was the first one. 2001 in Durham stands out for obvious reasons.
I assume 2005 stands out too for the.
Why 2005?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember seeing Garbage In and Garbage Out, and that was really a really fun episode for them to give us as a prize.
And they did commentary along the way with it. That's what the wiki said. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Sure.
Remember
they MST3 they MST'd it. Yeah,
sure. That
was okay.
Of course, the good thing about Garbage In, Garbage Out is that it got us more Angry Archer, which was always fun.
So basically, let's jump to the big news item for the week. I sort of debated on this and another item, but I think this is long term more important. The first quarter results for Hasbro for 2018 are in, and they're not good. Hasbro. So I'll say Hasbro is blaming the liquidation of Toys R Us on the problem, and there's probably some truth to that. They are liable to tell most of the truth as they can, and that's part of their own internal analysis. But they lost like $100 million this quarter.
$112.5 million, or 90 cents per share. Now, how much are their shares?
Oh, I mean, if John stepped away, John's an MBA. He could probably tell us more of that than I could. I could try to fumble my way through it, but
because if their shares are $90 and they went down to $89.10, that's not terrible. I mean, it's not great. No one ever wants to see the stock fall, but that can be recovered.
Yeah, so you don't want to have a loss. I know that the company that I work for, if we had a quarterly loss, I know we would probably be freaking out. I probably shouldn't say that, but I know.
I think that's true for any company that one would work for that is publicly traded. So I don't think you're giving away anything there.
Yeah. So, I don't. A loss is not good, and long term, we know. Aaron Archer had said one of the reasons he left Transformers was because this idea of selling toys and then shipping them out of crude oil and shipping them across the ocean isn't sustainable, and which is one of the reasons we are seeing Hasbro try to transform itself to an entertainment company.
Now this is confusing. Sorry to interrupt. I'm looking on Google right now at the Hasbro on the NASDAQ, and their shares are at 86.97 a share, so $86.97 a share, and that is up 71 cents, which is about 82% from, I don't know if that would be yesterday or, but yeah, so it did take a dip. I'm looking at the 1 month trend. But it's still down.
So yeah, I mean, so if you read the results, I mean, they say, hey, it's not great, but this doesn't represent the strength of our company. Right. Now, this company is a strong company. Don't get me wrong, but like other companies, we also know that the world is changing, and while the company is strong now, the economy of how things work. I mean, if you look at these toys, they're mostly hollow now, because. I'm not complaining about that because I still love them, but the world's changing, the economy's changing. This could just be another sign that the way that the hobby that we love could be dramatically different here in 10 years, where now it's basically the same that it was 10 years ago, except for the fact that stuff's smaller.
That it costs twice as much.
And it costs twice as much, and it's half as good.
So secretly, and I hate to say this, but secretly, that prospect actually got me a little bit excited, because it could be an ending point to some of this collecting problems that I have, without me having to actually intervene myself.
No, you'll just transition over to like hard drugs and
actually
have a different problem.
Yeah, what I was thinking though is, instead of buying new stuff, I could at that point start focusing on filling in gaps.
Yeah,
but everybody else will too.
Well, start early.
Brian, I got a question.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. I brought this up many years, a long time ago in an earlier show, and I was talking with y'all about this, about how eventually Hasbro won't be selling actual product to a degree. They'll be selling blueprints that you buy, and you 3D print your own figure within a certain amount of time frame before what you buy doesn't exist anymore.
I don't.
In some
That's
fashion. I mean,
20 years from now.
I don't even know that's. I don't even think.
What I'm saying is though, do you think maybe with the decline of Toys R Us and them showing the volatility of the brick and mortar even more now, they might be looking at something along those lines sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I mean, so it goes back to the whole transformation thing. I'm certain, like, Mattel was looking at the 3D printing stuff. Lots of companies are looking at 3D printing. Here's the thing, though. Unless they charge a lot of money for it, for those 3D models, I mean, they can't run their business on that. I see that more being a boutique thing, where, like, our buddy Trent Troop, who does Prize Inside, he sells models, and he has stuff 3D printed through whatever that service
Shapeways.
is. Shapeways. I don't see Hasbro being a publicly traded company making their money on selling STL files. It's just not going to happen.
Or at least that would be like it'd be like a, because we saw Hasbro Labs and the success of the Java barge. Now, true, you could 3D print something like that, but that just shows there is enough niche collectors for these oddball things that really may not be able to sell at brick and mortar retail, but they can provide you the file and say, like, oh, you want, like, say you want I'm just using an example. Okay, this is a high quality G.I. Joe weapon set that would not sell at retail, but here's the file to print all your own weapons.
I think more likely what's going to happen is, if, like, that Hasbro Labs idea, would it probably be where all the collector stuff goes, and instead of them selling you the files, they still sell you the plastic. But, like, simple toys, like Play School toys and things like that, if those would be the ones that are more likely to be 3D printed, because, I mean, 3D printing technology has gotten a lot better, but
it's also advanced quite a bit before this would be a viable, like, mass production thing. I'm using mass production in an odd sense here, but I think you understand my meaning.
Absolutely. I mean, so our buddy Greg Galb, which to me, guys probably haven't heard that name in years, was actually he just bought a new 3D printer, and it's the same one that I have, but it's like a couple of models newer, and he's able to do really cool stuff, like, right out of the gate. But it's still not. It's nowhere near prime time. Nowhere near the resolution.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a few, like, to use Don's word, boutique manufacturers that do use, like, full start to finish 3D printing techniques to make limited production runs of toys that they sell through an online. Yeah, that Glios is something different. Glios isn't 3D printed, but that is another boutique kind of thing. Glios is like rotocast vinyl, I think, or something similar to that. But there is, starting to be a little bit of a foot in the door for using 3D printing to manufacture toys on more than, like, a one-off situation, but that is still so much in its infancy. There is one thing coming up sometime soon. I don't off the top of my head know, like, the names of the people involved in this, but it started out as one of those limited 3D print manufacturing jobs, and that maker actually was able to get together with a factory to have that mass produced so that it could be done on scale. So, like, it's still a long ways off before we could transition out of factory production in the way we understand it today to something 3D based.
But with the loss of Toys R Us, that may put it in more of a higher up on the let's see if we can make this work list, is what I'm thinking.
I mean, not as long as Amazon exists, basically. Brick and mortar retail is invaluable. Don't get me wrong. That too will change as time moves on. But right now, brick and mortar is still invaluable. But there is still places for this stuff to go, even if it's having to lean a little bit heavier into online retail versus having a physical storefront for impulse purchase purposes. Now, Toys R Us going away is going to have an impact. It's going to change the way things work. It's going to change the way the companies think about the stuff that they want to make. Probably by 2020, if Transformers has not already undergone a massive shift in its philosophy of design and manufacturing just for economic purposes. I think we're going to see a major difference in what the Transformers line for that year will look like because Toys R Us is gone.
Yeah. It's interesting times we're living in.
Or sad, depending how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the old curse. May you live in interesting times, and well,
we do. Okay, so jumping into the news, Studio Series Thundercracker escapes the doom of Toys R Us exclusivity. So Entertainment Earth has it. I saw that TFormers is going to have it. Anybody else getting this?
Big Bad Toy Store has pre-orders up. Entertainment Earth was first out of the gate announcing this, and then within 24 hours, some of the other stores had put their listings up.
So if you're going to scalp your Toys R Us Thundercrackers, do them now.
Do it now, yeah.
Do it now, yeah. In fact, I have a second
Don
one.
already did it, so he's good.
Yeah.
That may become
It's a
contest
Don
fodder.
deal.
Yeah, so no, I'm not.
Entertainment Earth has them priced at the same as Toys R Us retail. I know Big Bad Toy Store is a little bit higher. I didn't check TFormers' pricing, but
yeah,
do your shopping around.
Yeah. Okay. So that's cool.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point to see if this turns up on Amazon too. Honestly, because it looks like this is just becoming generally available to whoever wants to carry it.
So let's see here. This was posted today. Rob, you posted this about the MEAS Toys Renegade.
I assume so, but yeah.
So it's a Masterpiece style Tetrajet.
Mm-hmm. Is it Masterpiece style? I thought this was supposed to be like Voyager size.
It looks
actually it's 20 centimeters tall, so it's about Voyager scale.
Man, it looks really nice. It looks Masterpiece alike to me, especially like in the canopy there. You can see through it. Or you would see if it was clear, if it was actual plastic there.
Clear plastic isn't limited to just Masterpiece alike.
Yeah, but it's very nice looking.
Yeah,
it looks like it's trying to be a Tetrajet. I don't know that I would call it a Tetrajet.
Well, I mean, you have to think about, like, the closest thing we've had to a physical representation of the Tetrajet as it appeared in the cartoon was by Impossible Toys. And you know how that turned out.
Yeah, we all have a couple of them.
I threw mine away.
But they did look right. They didn't
feel right.
Yeah, looking right in their vehicle mode was the only thing that they accomplished.
I think the robot mode on this looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just not sold on the vehicle mode.
I don't like the vehicle mold. I'm digging it.
I'm actually pretty okay with this because, like, they knew they could not do a 100% accurate Tetrajet because that would be impossible. So they just kind of fudged it as much in between that and, like, the Cybertron Starscream vehicle mode design. And I am 100% okay with that.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no way to make a good toy of the, Seekers that turn into D-Force. There's just no way to do it. We're going to see Hasbro try it again next year and probably show again that there's no good way to do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hasbro's attempt looked something like this.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. But this, I'm looking at this. It looks good. It also looks like it should be in Great Mazinger's head.
If they do one in proper Sunstorm colors, I would be very interested in picking one up.
Now, I've never really been a stickler for this has to look like on-screen accuracy. I've never been that kind of person. I've tried not to be in my collecting. But for some reason, the Tetrajet from More Than Meets the Eye, I want that to look like the show. I know that's very unreasonable and unfair of me to demand that without them breaking the laws of physics.
Yes, how dare you, Don?
But for some reason, that's the one thing I want them to get. Like they went up to the TV screen, grabbed the image, pulled it out, and say, "Here's your Tetrajet." I don't know why it's so important to me.
For me, it's episode 1 Wheeljack.
It's important to me. That,
yeah, I'd like one of those.
Well,
I think
which is equally impossible to do.
Okay, Rob, go ahead.
I understand that impulse, Don, because I like this design, but at the same time, if you're going to do something based on that, it seems like that if you don't do it as closely to the design as you possibly can, it kind of defeats the novelty of the thing.
Yeah.
So I
guess
can see where you're coming from with that.
I guess in my head it's like, hey, y'all made a lot of changes and a lot of design choices that I didn't agree with, but I was more than willing to give you the benefit of the doubt because of the technology and the aesthetic of the line you're doing. But this, damn it, I want this to look like the way that I want it to look like. So, I know that's unfair. It's just, this is the one thing that's always stuck with me.
See, if we're going on-screen accuracy, I still want a hot rod that transforms every way it transformed in Transformers the movie.
Yeah, so does Don.
Yes, so do I. It's just, of all the figures, and I don't know why, I want the Tetrajet to look like more than meets the eye. That's my one thing that I cannot get over, but I want that to look like that.
So here's an interesting thing. Ed F., Michael Pytel, and Sam Green in the chat have all commented how this looks at least somewhat like a Viper from Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to derail the conversation any further.
Hey, so I really want to talk about this next item, so I'm going to jump ahead.
All right.
So TF Dream Factory is producing an unofficial Roadbuster from Dark of the Moon. This thing, they are so going to get sued out of existence. Oh my God, look at this. So one, it's got the Chevy logo on it.
Oh boy.
It's got the Dale Earnhardt Jr. decals, and he lives like 20 minutes from here. I thought, so again, I just want to point out that I thought I had the most popular podcast in my tiny hometown. I forget that Dale Earnhardt Jr. lives here and also has a podcast. I'm pretty sure he has more listeners than we do.
Aww.
And but we would be second. And Mountain Dew decals and the National Guard. So he's dealing with Hendrick Motorsports, Pepsi, and the U.S. government and Chevy. Actually, the government still owns Chevy. So
the government never owned Chevy
for the buyout.
Wasn't that Ford? Oh no, it was GM.
It was GM. It was GM.
Yeah.
So from the bailout, I mean,
Brian. Let me ask you this, Brian. Well, you remember the Roadbots from Happy Well Toys? That was real popular there for a while. They were fully licensed from the individual manufacturers.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe they've got like a license for this? I mean, stranger things have happened. I just was wondering if you thought
no, Don.
I just wanted to bring it up as an option.
I love this.
This is not the only one of these records this company is producing, so they've probably got even more legal troubles ahead of them for the other, badging they're going to be emulating.
Oh, well, yeah, because the one is a Lowe's car, the other one is a Target car. The Target car already got made. The Lowe's one is coming out very soon.
Oh, I gotta buy it.
Probably this other one, that's the third.
Like I'll be escorted to HR if I buy that and put it on my desk.
You should. That would be.
I'm kidding. I won't. That was a joke.
No, that was. I think you should.
Just letting people know that was a joke. Okay, so, but yeah, dang it. I love the look of it. I love the look of this because the wreckers are kind of the one thing that I do like from Dark of the Moon. I think they're neat looking vehicles. But yeah. This is a novelty. If this comes out, I'm buying it. I really will because it won't. There can't be that many of them produced.
Well, I know someone who can get that for you.
Oh, please. Okay, thank you. Well, let me know what I need to do for the hookup.
So I'm interested to hear Matt's take on this next item.
Let me go back to the show notes, and I'll tell you what the next. What's the next item, Chris?
Fansproject returns again with B-Structor, not Monstructor combiner set.
This is
they just refuse to give up, don't they?
No, this is we need to get our money out of this mold. So let's just put it in a
please God, let us get our money out of this mold.
But it's the right thing. I mean, if you're going to repaint it, obviously this is the thing to do.
And it does. It looks great. I mean, it looks like Monstructor.
It does. I should love this. I should. I don't.
I dare somebody at TFCon to walk up to the Fansproject table and ask them if they're going to make Pretender shells for this.
Well, first, I don't think there's going to be a Fansproject table, but I doubt. I highly doubt that they would ever do shells for anything again.
They can't afford to.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'll be honest. I spent more in the final summary. I did spend more for the Dino King version of this than what it ended up selling for. But the money I saved on getting the shells as that 5-pack versus what they're selling for individually, it all balanced. It all pretty much washed out in the end, and I did get my shells, so I'm really happy about that. But this does look great. It's just I really wanted a Dino King representation more than a Monstructor, but I think this looks wonderful. It really does.
Yeah, it does.
We talked about
I'm
this
not
a little bit
buying
on
it,
There Goes
but-
My Money this week's episode. And I think basically the consensus we reached was that between the two versions, Dino King versus Monstructor, Monstructor is something we're a lot more likely to see in a Combiner Wars style as an official product than a Dino King. So, like, if you're going to go for one batch of these or the other one, this is probably not the one to go for.
Hey, so real quick, guys, before we move to the next item, I just got to share this because I have the best wife ever. She just came back from Walmart and found something that I had been looking for months. So Walmart has been selling coffee mugs of that are licensed with whatever on them, like Batman and stuff. And there was a Ninja Turtle mug that I wanted because it was misprinted. It was misprinted upside down with the Eastman and Laird turtles. She just brought me.
All right.
So you have Raphael right here, and it's printed upside down.
That is wonderful.
I love this. I have been wanting this for the longest time. So thank you, Kim. It makes my day. It really does. Okay, so Monstructor, it's great. When this, I learned about this in our internal email list, and I thought, oh crap, Hasbro's doing a Monstructor. I was disappointed to find out it's Fansproject, but not that disappointed because it's never going to come out.
Oh, throw that shade, Brian. Jeez.
Okay, so I saw. I don't think we talked about this last week. I may have missed it. It looks like Bonecrusher and Optimus are going to be part of the Voyager assortment for the fourth Voyager assortment for Studio Series. Did we talk about that?
No.
Do we have photos on those yet?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
So I'm guessing it's going to be the same Optimus Prime, or is it going to be a different Optimus Prime?
It's a different product number or barcode number, so it's not just a rerun of the Wave 1 Optimus, as far as we can tell.
Okay.
So I'm guessing it will be either a movie 3 or movie 4 version.
So we're not sure
I
yet.
That the listings both say movie 6.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Interesting.
Bonecrusher says movie 6 also, and I think they're just kind of lumping everything in together. I don't think that means we're going to get Bonecrusher in the Bumblebee movie.
Well, if Optimus is movie 6, we're going to have to make sure it has the correct forearms.
This is true.
Okay, so next item. Amazon's posted finalized stock photos for Power of the Primes, Optimal Optimus, and yeah, I like
didn't
it.
even see Optimus Primal's head completely.
Where's it at?
Last picture.
Oh,
The chin guard, they didn't
Yeah.
have any silver paint left for it. It's blue. He's got a weird blue beard.
That's how they'll all be.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a photo of the final production toy, so that's what they're going to look like.
Somehow it just, complements the awful foil Maximal sticker on the shoulder.
Yeah, kind of. Maybe there will be a sticker in the box to put on the chin to make it silver. So you have
to get the silver Sharpie.
Okay, you'll have the guard over the lip be silver paint, and then the chin guard will be like a chrome silver sticker.
what?
I was about to say, okay, Toy Hacks, give us better Maximal symbols and a silver chin strap, please.
So this is like I don't understand the stock photo here. That's like a mid
Well,
transformation.
that's because the photographer didn't understand it either.
So I would like to have So in that episode, Quick Strike was Quick Strike wearing an Optimal Optimus armor?
Well, yeah, basically.
I wonder if
they made the dummy Optimal Optimus so he could take control.
I wonder if I could fit him in there. Probably not. I don't hate this. I really don't.
I'm really less interested in it than I have been at any point previously.
Mm-hmm.
Which works out
Primal
because we
just-
have observed that Walmart's all
Never
over the
cared
place
to begin with.
Walmart's all over the place seem to be eliminating the Leader and sometimes Voyager price point spots from their Transformers spaces. So
No way. That's sad.
Yeah, I think that's why I found Rodimus Unicronus for $30 so quickly.
Me too.
yeah, you and a bunch of other people.
Yep, me too.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, so let's go ahead and just real quick talk about Power of the Primes first. So Machinima's Power of the Primes will premiere on May 1st on Tumblr. Because Go90's going away. Go90's going away. So I was talking to Jeremy Dennis from
All that
Transmissions on
traffic
Twitter.
didn't help.
No, I guess not. And he was like, "Well, yeah, Verizon owns Tumblr," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah." I mean, I knew that Yahoo owned Tumblr, and I forgot that Verizon owned Yahoo, so it makes sense that Tumblr would be the place they're putting this, except for like the fact that Tumblr sucks. But I guess
I can't believe I have to go to Tumblr to watch this.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube.
Well, no, there's good news for this. So unless they've got some other mechanism by which they're going to put this up there, Tumblr is really easy to rip media from. So
it'll be on
shouldn't
YouTube
be hard to get this through alternative channels.
if you want to
that
watch
are
it.
completely not sanctioned.
If you want to watch it.
Well, Diecast obviously does.
Now, so did you watch the trailer?
I didn't.
I did.
I had
No.
I didn't even know it was out yet.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I think it's marginally better than what's come before it, but just from a trailer. I didn't want to punch my screen.
That's a start.
Yeah. It looked exactly the same as the other stuff. Maybe a hair better, probably not. But the voices didn't drive me crazy.
Yeah. Well, there's a
You
lot.
have
There's a
heard
lot more.
Yeah.
There's a lot more like professional grade voice actors in this one than the last couple. I think.
Well, usually it's not.
Has the directing gotten any better?
There you go.
That's the
The
question.
voice acting is usually not the
And
problem.
This is true.
and the audio and did they hire a new audio person so that everything doesn't sound like
Basically,
it's
they
just
replaced their entire production side staff for this. I'm guessing
Yes,
not.
Yeah, is this just like something done by somebody else, and that's how they were able to do two of them so quickly? I don't think we're going to be that lucky.
Yeah, probably not.
Although I don't know, you might be onto something there. Like if they knew they had to get these out within a couple months of each other, basically, they might have brought in a second team, and maybe the second team did better.
It's possible.
Okay, so real quick, just from Figure King magazine, scans were posted that include pictures of Predaking. The one that I was most interested in, because I don't know that I don't know that we have a side by side, or maybe somebody posted on the
I think this
repo.
is the first. I think this is the first time.
But you have a side by side with Devastator. He's like a hair shorter.
A head shorter.
Yeah.
About a head shorter, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not bad. I think before, we said that we wish that the Dinobots had been Voyagers, and I still do, but I wouldn't want them to combine. So I guess I'm okay with this, with the exception of now I have two Decepticon combiners at the Titan scale.
That don't scale with the rest of the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Combiners can be any size they want to be,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
except the
especially
right
in season
one.
3.
Except the right one.
I'm okay with everything about this except how the combiner looks and how the individual robots look.
And also the underlying designs that they went with, G1 with knees. I'm not okay with that. But yeah, other than those three things, I think I'm fine.
I'm fine with the look of it. I really am.
I still like the way Predaking looks overall. I mean, I can get nitpicky about it.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
I mean,
I'm just not used to him having actual like leg-looking legs and not just short little stumps.
Neither are the designers, and that's why they're hanging off the back of two of the robots.
Yeah.
yeah.
Very
Yeah.
true. Very true.
He'll look fine on my shelf.
I'm sorry, guys. I've tried to be diplomatic about this, but I hate everything about this figure.
Awesome.
Okay.
Don't hold back. Rob,
review
tell us
is
how
over.
you really feel.
But I mean, no, I mean, like, look at the bright side though. Like, this is one Titan class year where you don't have to sit and look at everybody else getting them and feel envious. It's just like, look at those suckers who blew $150 on this
Yeah.
thing I know is garbage.
Well, I'm gonna wait till it goes down. It's got to be under 100.
Wait till it's at Ollie's.
Yeah.
I won't be able to
I
wait
mean-
that long.
I
but-
mean, Triptychon has gone to about $100 multiple times
Multiple times,
in
yeah.
the time since it came out. So I mean, just watch your Amazon tfradio.net/Amazon, and you'll eventually find a deal on that is more comfortable for you. But for me, there's really not a deal that's going to be more comfortable because I don't care about this at all.
And when everybody waits for a clearance deal on this, that will kill the funding for the next Titan class, so Diecast will never get his Unicron.
Oh,
So
Sadness.
bonus.
no, that'll be a HasLab project.
it could be.
Yeah.
It probably will. I think the next Titan probably will be a HasLab, if anything.
I want to
the way
see.
things are going.
Yeah, I want to see a HasLab. I really want to see a HasLab Transformer. I really do.
And it'll be
And-
Unicron.
And Diecast will pledge for 5 of them just because.
Oh, it's
maybe-
Unicron.
maybe-
absolutely.
And then forget that he pledged for
I was
5
going to
of
say,
them.
you'll pledge for 5 of them,
for
but not
all
on purpose.
5,000 just to get them made.
I'm going to be the odd man out.
Really
I'm
don't.
gonna
I
make
did
a
not
prediction.
expect that of you.
Yes. I am going to make a prediction that I know will not come true. Animated Omega will be a HasLab item.
I mean, I'd be on board for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's other than you and a couple other folks like Paladin. There's no like.
Yeah, I mean,
Demand for that.
the people who still care about animated are super passionate about that, and I really respect that devotion to this thing that clicked with them so strongly. Hi, Matt. But yeah, I mean, like in terms of like numbers of people to support something like this, it's not there anymore.
And from the
But I'm
current
saying-
design team, there is absolutely zero chance of getting anything inspired by anything other
I'm
than
also
G1.
saying this is the best chance we've had outside of a third party to actually get Animated Omega is through HasLab. As far as it's an infinitesimal chance.
Yeah, I would
But at
argue
least
there's.
it's something.
I would argue that it doesn't improve the likelihood at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been
Well, I mean,
avoiding.
at least there's another outlet for the chance.
Go ahead,
It
Chris.
increases
I've been
the chances
avoiding
in
doing. Go ahead, Rob. Finish, and then I'll go.
It increases the chances in that, buying 2 lottery tickets makes it very, very slightly more
That's fair.
likely you will win than buying 1 lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Boy, Rob, you were just full of piss and vinegar tonight. Jeez.
I like it. Chris, go ahead.
So I've been not shouting out a lot of the hashtags coming through the chat, but I really like this one, so I gotta give props for this to JT Prime. Hashtag really big broadside before Unicron.
Ooh.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Oh, and you know what? He comes with a sticker set that's also for the flag. So
Yes.
you can buy them for broadside, or you can put flag.
I'd buy
stickers
that.
on 'em.
I'd buy the hell
I
out of
would
that.
buy 2.
Yeah.
I would buy 2.
I would. I would.
One for each.
Let's see here. What else? So, Flame Toys, Furai model Optimus Prime action figure
Or
kit.
Furai, probably, actually,
Yeah,
since it's
probably
Japanese.
So,
God, that looks terrible.
so it's $40. That's actually not too bad. It's a kit.
Yeah, $40 for a 6-inch tall model kit.
Yeah, that's not too bad, honestly. I don't think.
Now, I want to say last week when this popped up, when it was in just the white prototype, I was kind of really
Oh
iffy
my
on it.
god, that's hideous.
But I'll be honest, if I didn't have Striker Noir for my anime style Optimus, I would be a lot more tempted by this because it's in those colors. It's a very dynamic Optimus. It's almost like Optimus build fighters. Like he's really a Gundam and he's just hiding out in the Transformers universe kind of thing.
I wouldn't buy this at all.
No.
But it's interesting that it exists, and I like that Hasbro is branching out and licensing stuff like this. So for the people out there who want it, can have it.
Wow. I mean, it's just in with the colors, it's a lot more striking of a figure to me than just seeing the general body sculpt that we saw when it was all white prototype last week.
So for me, this goes back to like all the people who look at Leonidas, the unofficial Lyo convoy, and just eat it up. To me, this looks exactly like that. It just it does
yeah.
it looks nice, but it's not for me.
And Blade Runner's
Yeah.
got it exactly right. It looks like Armada Optimus Prime before he scanned in Earth form in the first episode.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, that could be. But like I've got Striker Noir, and to me, that's my anime.
Don't you have
Optimus
Striker
kind of
Anus as well? Is it Jason?
Anyway.
Is it Jason that has Striker Anus?
No, Striker Noir. There's Striker Mac.
Isn't there Striker Anus? I'll shut up.
No.
Okay, so there's also DX9 Montana unofficial MP scale Sonicon breakdown. I think we
Finally,
we had photos before. It doesn't do anything for me.
I forgot about this. It's been taking so long.
It's been teased so long.
Looks like a Cyber Battalion toy.
Nice. Very go body.
I think this is the first
Yes.
of
Yes,
DX9
very good body.
Stunticons that's going to be coming out.
I really like that size, though. That's a good size.
Are these the ones that are like $69 though?
No, this is 100.
Okay.
Oh man, it doesn't do anything for me.
Oh,
So it's weird. They're starting with Breakdown here, and then the next one that's coming out is Motor Master before the rest of the limbs.
Huh.
That's weird.
Isn't it just?
I like it.
I usually dig their stuff, but yeah, this is not clicking.
I'm digging it.
Digging it. Okay.
Well, you're alarmingly easy to please, Diecast.
Not always. So real quick, hey, guess what? It's time for our Amazon plug. If you want to buy Studio Series toys, most are still in stock. You can get those at tfradio.net/studio. I think that Blackout and Grimlock are out of stock, but
They've been spending most of their time out of stock.
a couple other things though. I went back and looked just to see what was available. We talked last week about the last night Voyager size Megatron. If you missed out last week, like $14, I'm sorry, but it's still like $18, which is not bad. tfradio.net/TLK Megatron. One thing I'm considering, because I didn't get it and I didn't want to spend full retail, and this is somewhat discounted, is the last night Leader Class Megatron. Currently $36. That's at TLK. It's at tfradio.net/TLK Megatron 2. I would like to find it for a little less than that, but but
like 25.
Yeah. I found one for $25 at clearance at Walmart, but it had been opened and repackaged, and I did not trust it.
Oh yeah.
Hound is now $17. tfradio.net/TLK Hound. And we haven't talked about it in a while, but the people out there might have been holding out for the Takara version that's not coming. Combiner Wars Lyo Kaiser is still available, and right now for $90 at tfradio.net/Lyo Kaiser.
Yeah, the pricing on that's been pretty consistent over the last several weeks or last few months, so that seems like it's going to be available for the foreseeable future. Entertainment Earth did finally sell through all of their supply of it just recently, so
hey, that's the way to get it.
Yeah.
Hey, and anytime you use the Amazon link at tfradio.net/Amazon or any of the links we mentioned on the show helps us out, helps pay for the show. We don't run any other advertising or anything like that, so we would appreciate you using our link. It's how I don't want to do please do this, but hey, tfradio.net/Amazon. Hey Rob, what's on TFormers this week?
Okay, first up, we've got some photos of the various Bumblebee movie promotions at CinemaCon 2018. Seems to mostly be the same promotional image, but looks fairly decent. We've got some coverage of both of the leaked from Cybertron just mini features that they've put out about one about Studio Series Grimlock and one about Power of the Prime's Dinobot Slash the last couple of days. We learned via Twitter that James Roberts is going to take a break from Transformers writing after the conclusion of Lost Light. When asked if he could ever see coming back, he said, "We'll see." So it's once again after the conclusion of Unicron, the future of IDW's Transformers comics is a little bit up in the air.
Yeah, so it came out in conversation after that point with other people on the creative side in the IDW Transformers space that It looks like IDW is kind of stepping away from most or everybody who's been involved so far. So I think it's kind of going to be a complete fresh take post reboot, at least for the time being.
Well, we'll see about that. I don't know how I feel about that one way or the other at this point. We've got the first look at this year's Transformers Hallmark ornament, and it is G1 Starscream.
I like it. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's not terrible.
No.
G1 Starscream is a terrible toy, though, so it looks
Yeah.
like...
I mean, yeah, it is a terrible toy, but it also looks cool.
Yeah, it's oh man.
Yeah, I mean, Diecast, you have to contextualize this in the way it was designed, which is as a transforming mecha, not as a super robot life form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the fact that the design sensibilities for Japan in like 1982 were very, very different from anything we have now.
Yeah, or had then.
Yeah. And lastly, one last leak from Cybertron feature on Leader Class Blackout.
Cool. Hey, Don, what's on the network this week?
What's on the network this week? There Goes My Money, episode 39. That's not a good business idea. This week on There Goes My Money, we have our first themed episode. With all the recolors and reissues coming out of third party, XV, Eric, and Jason are with Diecast to discuss what this all means for third party in general. Are the companies just trying to build off of previous successes, or are they doing their best to get rid of remaining stock before the clock strikes midnight for them? Looking at you, Fansproject and KFC. Regardless, there's some good conversation to be had, so grab a chair, relax, and join us for this episode of There Goes My Money. RPG Lessons Learned, episode 51. Shock Jock Savage Worlds, East Texas University. This week on RPG Lessons Learned, Dusty relearns that the most basic of lessons, you have to hook your players.
It's super important. Diecast, do you have any reviews this week?
No,
Okay.
but I should have some coming up.
RFC reviews. Awesome.
Are you going to be reviewing that Not Drift?
Yeah, that's one of my plans.
Hey,
good.
one listener question that I wanted to actually get it on this show. I meant to answer this last week, but I haven't. So it also came through email. It was originally mentioned in the chat. Joey wants to know, hey guys, are the Transformers Studio series worth collecting? Mostly no.
I think it's either. It depends on your view of each character.
Yes, it is.
It's like for me, it's like I said, I've got Starscream and I've saw the reviews and it looks like it's an excellent toy. I'm just not sure whether I'm going to keep the Starscream or not because it's another movie Starscream. I did buy Stinger because all we got before was a Bumblebee repaint from Japan that I really didn't want, and this is an actual Stinger. And I did buy Blackout.
I didn't even get that
because it's finally a Leader Class Blackout. And I did pick up Grimlock. Granted, it's more for him to look on the shelf and say, "Look how pretty I am."
Yeah.
Than an actual desire for because it's
Yeah,
such
so
a gorgeous
that seems
toy.
to more be the thing here. Like the Studio Series toys seem more like they are like good design exercises in getting like very solid versions of these existing designs out, maybe with the exception of Bumblebee. But you have to kind of be invested in the characters already for it to actually have a value to pick them up. Like
exactly.
I picked up Stinger because not because I care about the character, but because it's the first time we've actually had a Pagani Huayra vehicle mode in Transformers, and I actually like that car design. So like there was a basis for me to grab that, and so far nothing else. But like Starscream looks interesting, but I don't really like that Starscream design except for that's an F-22. I mean, you kind of gotta go with factors like that. It's gotta mean something to you before it's gonna be worth it, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
It's like I have no desire for the Ratchet. I have no desire for the Crowbar. I picked up the Optimus because it's Optimus and it's a new mold. It's another transformation, which amazes me how they get from the same base truck mode all these different transformations. Blackout was a must purchase, and Grimlock I bought after some of the guys on Twitter said, "Look how beautiful this thing is," and I have to admit, that is one of the best looking figures I've seen in a long time,
Grimlock?
and it's amazing what paint does for a figure.
Yeah. So like Blackout looks phenomenal, but is just a shell former, which I'm not crazy about. I knew the Bumblebee was crap, but I got it because I needed to spend something. Thundercracker I like, but again, right now it's a Toys R Us exclusive.
And it wasn't made for Studio Series anyway.
Yeah. So I mean,
but also the Nitro Zeus is a very solid base mode.
Oh yeah.
Stinger I got because I wanted a Stinger and I wasn't able to get the Takara repaint, and now it's like more expensive than it's worth.
Since most of us are not maybe the ideal people to ask, are movie toys worth it? Let's turn the question around to maybe a better perspective for us. Outside of that Bumblebee, are there any figures in this line that you would say are not worth owning, even if you love the character?
I'm
probably
Black.
Crowbar because, the Crowbar is so close. Well, the Crowbar is so close to Berserker. To me, anyway.
Share parts, I think we determined.
So it's like, and if you can find a Crowbar I found one for $250 on clearance at Walmart versus $30 for Studio Series, is $27.50 more important than having.
Okay, you found the Berserker for $250 versus the $20 that Crowbar would have cost, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I was thinking Starscream's price. So yeah, it's like is what little difference there is visually, to me anyway, worth the extra $18.
So when I was hanging out with Hey Mickey last weekend at the comic shop in Nashville that I like to stop at, there was actually a sealed Studio Series Crowbar there for like $12.99.
Really? Interesting.
Wow,
that's odd.
I mean, and the poor thing is, nobody talks about Ratchet. No one ever seems to bring up poor Ratchet, and I like that Ratchet that's based on, but I have that movie version. Again, this is a little bit better in some cases, but it means nothing to me. On the character was barely a character.
The way they engineered Ratchet, like in the package, it looks like a huge toy, but it's also like really spindly because everything is stretched out to give it the height it's supposed to have. Like I can, see all the tricks with it just looking at it through the package. It's not something I would actually want to own, knowing from knowing what I can know from looking at it out of the package. It doesn't look appealing the way it's been designed.
Cool.
Even though it's got that size appeal.
So I'm gonna have to break in here real quick, guys, because I know our podcast listeners are probably going to be throwing their phones or headsets or whatever. So there's this awful rumbling sound. Don, is your cat trying to kill you or something? It sounds like I hear Massey, then I hear like a ton of rumbling.
No, he's sitting under the chair, just waiting for me to feed him. He's nice. He's not doing anything.
Okay, I just heard this like really low rumbling sound. It sounds like somebody's microphone base is going or being bounced around. So,
don't think it's me.
Okay, sorry. Okay, just yeah, but like if you really are a completist and you buy everything, you're buying it anyway. If you like the movie stuff and you are either trying to fill in gaps for these characters, go ahead and buy them while you can get them. But if you are not necessarily the biggest movie fan like me, I'm sparingly buying these. I think I bought the ones I'm going to buy. It's not really my thing.
I might grab Starscream if the price drops 20 or less. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you, Joey, for the question. Sorry it took me so long to get to that. So, yeah.
We're bad at things.
We're bad at things. We sure are. But you can leave us a voicemail if you have a question at 931-99-GO-BOT. That's 931-994-6268. You can find the show notes for this episode at tfradio.net/568. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, hopefully in a couple days you'll see basically a proof of concept show pop up. It's called It's a Don Deal. Listen, and if you want to call in and ever talk to Don, just watch for us on Twitter at TF Radio for when we'll be going live, and we'll give you some advanced warning. And you can talk to Don about whatever. We'll be doing it here in a few minutes once we are done recording this week's RFC. Again, TF Radio on Twitter at facebook.com/TF Radio if you want to reach us there. And on Instagram at TF Podcast. Rob Springer, who's not here, he is at Rob Springer on the Twitters and at zonebase.org. I'm on Twitter at bkilby. And on Instagram at Brian Kilby. Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
You can come over to my house, or you can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2. You can follow me on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast, and you can check out my reviews on YouTube or tfradio.net/reviews.
Matt is on Twitter at Melvar, 3 L's, 2 R's, MELLVARR. He is worth a follow. Yeah, he is. He's shaking his head. Don, how do people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me at 1-800. No. I'm reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EBR.
Chris?
I'm not here.
Hey, it looks like your Flickr is being bought out by SmugMug. Are you worried about that?
Well, I've looked into it, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be a bad thing. So we'll see.
Flickr.com/ChrisRTXV, also on Twitter at ChrisRTXV.
You can't prove that.
Yes, I can. Rob, how do people get a hold of you?
I am on Twitter at Figure Viewers and Flailthroughs. Also, Flailthroughs a lot of other places, including YouTube, where the next few weeks we will be covering the beta test for Gundam Battle Operation 2, which was last week.
Cool. John?
That John D everywhere.
Excellent. Hey, guys. That was great. We'll be back next week. We love you, people in the chat. Again, hashtag you're awesome. And hashtag Seacons before Unicron.
No.
Yes. And,
and also hashtag really big broadside before Unicron.
This is true. Yeah. Hashtag really big broadside before anything. Basically. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. Okay. Yeah, I noticed that rumbling. It may not have been you. It just
because the window's down and Matthew's over here.
It sounded like a microphone base being bumped or kicked or something.
John's lighting up every once in a while.
John's got a different sound with his stuff though,
and he's usually muted when he's not talking. So.
Yeah. I'm not muted now, but
that's because you're talking.
Yeah, but
fair enough.
How do you know? The same noise, so I didn't know where it was coming from.
I didn't either. Like I didn't see whatever. It was just.
It seemed like it happened most often when Chris was talking, but he's been talking again since, and it hasn't happened again. So I got no idea.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things. Like when we're recording, you don't. I mean, like or watching video, you don't notice it. But when you're listening to a podcast, it's like, dear God, stop.
If it was me, fortunately, I was muting between instances where I was talking, so it shouldn't be a pervasive thing if it was me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hear it now, so I have no idea. I mean, I've never heard it before, so it's. I have no idea. It was just odd. Hey, awesome. So, Don, are you ready?
Let me go to the bathroom and get a beverage real quick, because my throat's a little dry.
That's actually not a bad
I'll be back
idea.
and give me just a minute.
People don't call in yet, but get your phones ready.
Bowl of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Get your phones ready and decide what you want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bow out of this so I can get some sleep.
Okay.
So.
Good night, Matt.
Good night, Matt.
What'd you say, Diecast?
I was saying to Matt, why do you need sleep? But he left.
Because unlike you, he's a human being.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Not Earthworm Jim. That was Comic Zone. Comic Guy.
Comics. I'm pretty sure it's Comic Zone.
I never played Comic Zone.
It's an interesting game.
Played Earthworm Jim though.
Yeah, I liked that game. Pretty good.
Oh yeah, Earthworm Jim was great.
Earthworm Jim 2 was, I was gonna say Earthworm Jim 2 was fantastic.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money to get that game when it was still new, which was a rare thing for me.
I rented it at least once and then blundered on the there was a series of $20 reissues near the end of the Super NES's lifespan. That's the version I got.
Really? How was the Super Nintendo game?
Super Nintendo version.
That's what I had.
Yeah, it's excellent. I mean, I don't know if there are any differences between it and the Genesis and Saturn versions offhand.
There's a Sega CD version as well.
The Sega CD version had more animation to it, I think.
I like the Genesis
more
game.
Depth of the background.
I'm certain the color palette was wider on the Super Nintendo version.
Would not surprise me.
So Don, let's. Oh yeah. Oh.
All right.
Nice. You have it.
Is that Cherry Pepsi
Yes.
Zero?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I was talking to the Pepsi guy at the local grocery store, and we were talking about Pepsi Max and how I have a horrible obsession with it. And he was talking about how that was coming out, and I had it before because it was being tested in Don. We got it in Chicago at when we went to go to TFCon. Because they were testing it out in single serves at convenience stores. Yeah, and he told me that was coming out. I've not run across it yet, so.
Yeah, because I've had the Cherry Coke Zero, but Pepsi Zero still tastes better than Coke Zero, especially with the cherries.
It's so much better. So Don, so again, hey, people watching live, we don't know what we're doing. We're just trying to figure this out. This is gonna be a proof of concept.
You should be used to
This
this.
This is the inaugural run. So let's see what happens.
So we're sitting here, we're talking, we just finished recording Radio Free Cybertron. The phone lines are open. 931-994-6268. So when you call in, again, you'll hear us talking. Don't say a word until you hear us say, caller, you're on the air. So.
Until you hear Brian say, caller.
It only counts when Brian says it.
Hopefully nobody else is going to say it, so.
Well, I just, wanting to insulate against that possibility, Diecast.
I probably should have shared this out on Twitter, but I'm banking on the live. I'm banking on our live caller, our live viewers to. Oh, we have a call coming in, so let's go ahead and go to the line. And caller, you're on the air.
Hello.
You're on the air. Who is this? Who is this? Where are you calling from?
This is Sean Hamilton. I'm calling from Alabama.
Oh no, not Sean.
Hey, Sean. Now I know where he lives. I can narrow it down just from the state.
You have my address, Don.
If you want to make it easy.
How's it going, Sean?
I've got artwork for sale. I was wondering if anybody was interested.
You have artwork for sale. Oh! There's some really great artwork. It's been seen at TF Radio.
Yeah, it's advertised on the internet.
It's artwork that goes out on the internet. Tell us actually about some of the art that you posted today, Sean. Sorry.
The artwork for Diecast?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I like the third one better.
The which one?
The third picture, the one with the foot.
Yes, that is awesome.
So, this artwork that you've done, where can they reach you to get samples or to purchase?
The samples are seen on Twitter at TF Radio, and just tweet me.
Okay.
Brian's got a batch in the mail. It should arrive tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so for the test people watching live, we may not be able to live stream this because apparently the feedback is really bad. Hey, but it sounds fine on our end, so the podcast version will sound good.
Okay.
Yep.
That's all I had.
Okay, well, great. Thank you for being the first caller, Sean. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, John.
Can you tell Big Dumb John DeLuna and maybe the rest of the world what the format of the show is? I'm all in.
We don't know. We don't know. We're trying to figure that out as we go.
don't know.
So So is it Tradio? It sounded for a minute we were getting into Tradio, which sounds incredible.
Oh,
it's MC'd by Don.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we're trying to figure that out as we go. I think
I love it.
We'll let people talk about
Yeah,
whatever.
It's going to be part discussion, part me being Andy Rooney, parts people selling stuff. It's going to be just it's a good old fashioned variety show on the radio.
Speaking of, we have a caller right now on the line. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, this is Eric. I have a question for Dawn.
Oh, Garrett, huh?
Yes, Garrett. What is your question?
So, I was just wondering, would you rather watch all of Teen Titans Go, or would you rather, pay for a Supreme Cheetor? Buy it?
Garrett sounds
I would
familiar.
pay for the... Yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying Garrett sounds very familiar.
Yeah, it's almost
He does. It's kind of, I just can't quite place it. But what I would do is I would take the Supreme Cheetor, buy it, set it on fire, and then beat the Teen Titans Go box set until it caught on flame. And then I would pick a random person on, let's say, Purdue University, just as a random university, and find someone I hate that for bringing up two things I hate, and maybe set them on fire.
Why are you trying to bully Chicken College, Don?
Why are you going to set a person on fire? If
you're going to set Supreme Cheetor on fire, does that mean that you hold it at the same level that you hold Daka Toys Kronos?
No, I like Kronos.
Hey, real quick, Garrett, a quick question for you. So, a friend of ours, Eric Crownover, last night posted on Twitter some deep and introspective thoughts in respect to his potential future. Do you have any thoughts or comments on what Eric had to say? If you're familiar with Eric,
I don't know him very well, but I would assume he's still pretty set on working for Transformers someday. It's just design is a very interesting field, but I don't know that much, so you'd have to go ask him. But
Well, I don't know. I've seen some of his early work, and I'm thinking more My Little Pony is more his speed, than anything more complex. And then he can work his way up from there. But
that sounds like a compliment because Don loves
Fun
ponies.
fact, I actually know someone who's Eric knows someone who is at Purdue that is actually trying to get on the My Little Pony line. So
Is it a girl?
yes,
Okay.
a very interesting girl, but yeah, girl.
Okay.
cool.
Well, I wish her all the success. And then this Eric guy, if he improves and he gets better over the years, he'll be able to move up as well.
Hey,
At some point.
Hey, Garrett, any other thoughts?
I just wanted to say that I do like Teen Titans Go, and I'm so sorry that you can't enjoy it, Don.
It's really
very
good.
sad, but
Well, I like good things. That's why I don't care for that.
do you though?
Like Code Lyoko and SpaghettiOs and applesauce.
And Kronos. And
I forgot
Velveeta.
about the SpaghettiOs and
and
applesauce
Miracle
thing. Oh,
Oh, can you imagine SpaghettiOs and Miracle Whip? Oh,
I just threw up all
oh
over my mouth.
gosh.
Okay.
Well, caller, thank you for being part of our inaugural show. I certainly appreciate it. Don't the proverbial door,
Glad to help.
We'll see, Garrett.
Thank you, Garrett.
Okay, the lines are now open.
Garrett.
Lines are open, so I should put this on Twitter. I'll do better next time. So we're just trying to figure out what in the heck we're doing here. So, John,
Hey,
going back.
Don, I got a question.
Okay.
Buy or sell, okay? So I'm going to toss you a couple of Transformers that are in my possession.
Ooh, I
You let
like
me-
that.
Let me know if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. Should I be selling these to make money, or should I keep them because it's a buyer's market and the prices are down, so I don't want to cheat myself?
I like
Follow.
this.
Okay.
Here
Okay.
we go.
Just as a qualifier, this is not financial advice, and I could well be wrong.
Please consult your doctor before starting any diet or exercise program.
Yeah, if Don costs me like a cool $20, I'm buying or selling. I'm coming right after him. I'm buying a one-way ticket to to your front door.
Yep.
I'm going to take my 20 out of your hide. Okay, so
All right.
Deluxe Armada Optimus Prime. Buy or sell? What should I do?
Bendy Prime?
Like
Bendy?
Kung Fu Punch Prime.
Yeah, Don Bendy Prime.
Yeah, Shimmy
Bendy
Prime.
Shimmy Prime.
Hey, Don, once you answer, we've got a caller on the line we'll go to.
Okay. I would say keep for right now.
Okay.
Cool. Hey, so we'll revisit that in a second. Wait, caller, you are on the line. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
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 Is this Garrett again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, it's not Garrett. Hey, yeah, we can hear you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm unofficial.
Yes.
I'm in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And, I was wondering why you guys didn't talk about the Hasbro Pal Mount deal thing that was released recently.
The deal where Hasbro and Paramount are expanding their relationship.
Yes. I was just wondering what you thought about it.
So I know that. Oh, Don, sorry, this is your show. You go ahead.
Well, the thing is, though, I thought they were scaling back the relationship with a lot of the movies being canned.
Did you not see the news about Mask, Don?
Well, yeah. Okay. All right. I didn't realize that's what. Yeah, I saw the. Yeah, I saw. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm getting a lot of feedback on my end.
Sounds like you have your. If you might want to mute your video on the back.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, by the way.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I saw that the Mask movie got the director for the Fast and Furious, and that actually makes a lot of sense considering.
And caller, and real quick, caller, thanks for the call. We're going to disconnect and just listen on your end. Thanks for calling.
I thought Mask was canceled.
Mask just did not get any distance into its development yet. But, I mean, they've attached a director to it now, so that's
nice
progress.
That's nice.
And, as I was saying, the Fast and Furious franchise is probably the closest thing we have to Mask in cars doing incredible things short of actually converting on the screen. So it does make kind of a sense that would be like the next logical step. So that could be a very good thing, but they're going to have more than just nostalgia driving this and cool cars doing cool things. There's got to be, because you can have the concept of Mask and there be a good solid plot. I mean, and not be some, bad summer brain dead blockbuster, which there's nothing wrong with those. But I'm just saying, there's so much out there that people want more than just explosions and car chases. They want a little bit of depth with their big summer blockbusters to a degree. And so I think if they can get the right script, heck, maybe even some people from the original cartoon, maybe some ideas that they didn't get a chance to do in the cartoon could be extrapolated for the movie. Who knows? Plus, that would give us an entire new line of Mask toys, a new Boulder Hill playset. I mean, it could be a really good thing, or it could be another G.I. Joe movie franchise where it crashes and burns after.
Oh, they're wanting to reboot that too, Like, that's still something that's on the books.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. Hey, when you call in, make sure to mute your video, or the live stream, just so that we don't have
Yeah, because I'm sorry, but I was getting a lot of feedback on my end. I'm hearing myself through.
Yeah. So, hey, actually, the line's open 931-994-6268. John, Don, why don't you continue your conversation about the buy or sell?
All right, next one, Don.
Okay.
Okay. All right, you pick buy or sell. So if you say sell, it means you think the value is really high right now, or as high as it's going to be, and I should sell. Or if you say buy, you're basically saying that the prices will go up later, or for whatever reason, I should just keep it on the betting that the prices will go up, market will get better. Generally speaking, buy or sell my BotCon collection.
Ooh, that's the entire collection.
Just generally speaking, should I be selling my BotCon toys now, or should I be keeping them because the market's going to get better than it is right now?
Oh, I'll be honest with you, John. I would say keep, just because there's a lot of characters in there that you're not going to get a mainline toy of for a very long time. Or those molds, especially from the earlier sets, are too pricey now to be brought back. I mean, look at the War for Cybertron Prime that came back with the in that 2-pack. That was a whole lot of toy for this time period compared to what it was when that toy came out. So, unless there's a set, I'm using this set as one of my most disappointing sets was Wings of Honor. I mean, there were a few good figures in the add-on set, and I liked the Land Shark. But as a whole, if you don't like the Wings of Honor set, that could be one that you could move. But I would say keep, because there's just a lot of those molds aren't going to get remade anytime soon due to the amount of engineering or plastic in them, or just the sheer amount of what it would cost to remake them.
Purely speaking, from like a financial standpoint, like put the toy lover thing aside for a minute. Do you think that market is going to? Do you think prices in general for BotCon toys are going to go up, or are they going to go down?
I think it's going to depend on the toy, and I don't mean that as a cop out. It's just we've seen what, like, say, the Collectors Club Wave Mail Order Service 4 that had the combiners with Bludgeon and the rest of them combining into a Thunderwing faced character. Those are still going for quite a bit of money, whereas we've seen figures like Sizzle.
2009.
Oh. 2009. And we've seen like the Dead End repaint from that animated Jazz. We've seen those drop because I had JDs and I only got like $20 for those out of JD's collection. And they're great figures. They look good. They're good molds. They're just not what people are looking for right now. So it's going to be very tough to sell, because if you've got certain figures and certain sets that you like say, for example, Cybertron's Most Wanted, that Megatron. That Megatron mold came from Transformers Prime Breakdown, we never got in the U.S. And breakdowns are, last time I checked, I think Chris looked for one recently. You said they were going for a lot of money, Chris. I think last time you looked at them.
Which one?
Prime Breakdown. They were still going for a
yeah. They are, and even the Swerve redeco has actually gone up in price a little bit versus what it had been in years past.
Right. So, I mean, but you may not like the Pack Rat version of that Rat Trap mold. You may not like that, but is it worth it breaking up a set to pare down the stuff? That's what you got to look at.
Okay. Brian, do we have another call yet? If not, I've got one quick concept.
We're about to have another caller. Ernest is going to try to call back with the line down, but go ahead.
Okay, real quick, Don. I'm going to do another twist on buy or sell. This time, you say buy means, yes, I buy into the idea. Sell means, no, that idea is stupid. I don't think so. Okay, ready? All right. Okay. Buy or sell. We'll have a Transformers Collectors Club program by 2020.
I would say buy. Mainly because they've seen, if they have any kind of feedback monitoring program at Hasbro, if they have anybody with any kind of internet marketing research degree or experience, they're seeing this feedback and they see that, okay, this keeps getting brought up, and I'm sure it's not just on here, not on TFYLP, not on transmission, whatever the case may be. Every podcast at some point has talked about why has nothing happened yet? And if they're seeing this, they know they've got to have something in place sooner or later, or fans are going to go other places for characters they might do. And they're already losing a lot of business to what third parties doing, getting characters that a collector's club would be the best place to do them.
So in the chat, real quick, before we go to our caller, Jason says, I'd argue that the research arm is the reason we don't have one yet.
Oh,
Hey,
sick burn.
so we have a caller on the line. Caller, name and location.
Hello?
Hey, is this Ernest?
Yes?
Hey, Ernest. Sounds better
I
on
have a
this
different
end.
question.
Okay, go ahead.
In the upcoming toy line of Generations Wolf Cybertron, do you think we're going to get any beasts like the Dinobots for Cybertronian mode or not?
Go ahead, Don. I've got my thoughts.
No. Look. Well, Brian, you go ahead because I'm not sure on this yet.
So I'd like to say yes, but when you look at the number of beasts that we've gotten over the years, it's minimal. I mean, the design team, they are dyed-in-the-wool G1 fans, and we know from Toy Fair they have the class of 84, the 84 Rocks, or whatever it was, shirt. I don't see us having any kind of beast-style characters. I think with the Predacons that we have, the Dinobots... Maybe. I mean, we could potentially get Monstructor, but I doubt it.
What I meant was like in Cybertronian modes. Not as beasts, but as Cybertronian modes.
It's
like before they were
possible.
beasts.
Yeah.
But it's the same character. I mean, it's the characters that they love, maybe not necessarily the designs. Go ahead, Don.
But what you're suggesting is like the war within style Dinobots, where they're like tanks and aircraft and that kind of stuff, right?
Like the Energon, like the Energon Dinobot.
Somewhat like that, but more like the cartoon. Like with Jazz or Wheelchair modes.
Yeah, I think it all depends on how recently they did the characters too, because like the Dinobots, of course, I think would be a definite thing, but not in the first year because we just had Dinobots, and they probably don't want to oversaturate the. I mean, I don't know whether you subscribe to the theory you can't have too many Dinobots or not is up to individual interpretation, but I think just in terms of name fatigue and character fatigue, they would hold off on the Dinobots until later. Now, we could get, like, say, a Rat Trap in a motorcycle mode, like he was for BotCon. Rhinox could have some kind of heavy truck.
What about the Cybertronian Skylinks?
I mean, he wouldn't be the Skylinks that we know, because I don't think you would have a robotic Puma running around Cybertron, but he would definitely be a shuttle of some sort.
So, like,
heck, you could even have say War for Cybertron aerial bots in their cargo shuttle modes as they were originally in Keto Vector Sigma. That would make a Cybertronian designed Superion.
Where I was thinking on this, where Ernest was going, was like the Cybertron long rack that we got years ago. That was beautiful. Where it was the Beast character in a vehicular mode.
I can barely hear Kilby.
Sorry. So I was thinking like the Cybertron long rack that we got years ago. That was basically the Beast Wars Neo character with a vehicular design.
Yeah.
I just don't think that the current design team likes Beast Wars. So I don't see any of that.
I was thinking more along the lines of what Laserbeak looked like in episode 1 for some of the cassettes, or Skylinks, maybe.
Well, Ernest, I think you're right, but I also think what they're going to be doing is they're going to be looking at more than meets the eye part one, and for the most part, and getting. I think they'll be getting a lot of their ideas from that part 1 on what Cybertron was before they went to Earth. And also with the video games as well.
I hope for buying packs. You just gotta say that.
Yeah. It was it's just we just got it in Orion packs, but they might do if they can redesign this Orion packs that we just got with the IDW better looking truck mode, maybe. Or some kind of Cybertronian, because he never had alt mode in Wardon, so we don't know what he transformed into originally. But that means you can make him anything that was a Cybertronian. I'm guessing like a Cybertronian beachcomber doom buggy kind of thing.
Another thing just popped in my mind: will they be using any of the Cybertronian modes in the Marvel comics?
Now, I had mentioned this partially in jest, but Optimus Prime was a battle platform. If he was some kind of mobile battle platform that was like part truck up front, and say he was pulling an artillery piece or some kind of base, like a small like a GI Joe thing that you would have an all striker pull a missile, the missile launcher, but the missile launcher was actually half of his robot mode. Kind of like Fire Convoy.
If we're gonna get to the Marvel comic stuff, what I would want would be some naturally occurring like gears and levers and gyros and things like that. That's what I would want.
Yeah. You know, and of course, if you want to get into the comic, you can also have like a scrounge. That's an actual kind of maybe like in a 2-pack, you know, some kind of weird bonus figure. He's an actual
scrounge with
wheel or something like that.
Hey, Ernest. Hey, thanks for the call. This great questions. If we try this again next week, call back. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here in a minute. Thanks for calling. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for being in the chat. We love you. Yeah, I think we're going to try to wrap up here in a couple of minutes. Hey, John, did you have any other items you wanted to throw to Don?
I got one last one. I like this one.
Okay.
All right, Don, buy or sell. Between now and 2025. Between now and 2025, buy or sell.
Assuming I'll be alive.
Hasbro will have had at least one official BotCon.
I'm going to buy into that. Because I think that they're going to see that HasCon by itself, while celebrating all the brands, is not going to be enough on its own for some of these fandoms, and that it'll be a smaller BotCon, probably in Rhode Island, maybe at a different time of the year to offset the HasCon. Maybe they might even hire another company that does promotions to have it somewhere else. But I think they're going to see that HasCon by itself cannot meet the fan demand of wanting these conventions and wanting the stuff. And if they make their own BotCon, they can try to avoid SDCC with some things and have a more streamlined San Diego presence, and then have their big stuff like for Transformers separate. But again, they may not want to do that. And they may want to try to make HasCon the thing. It's just HasCon is a shotgun approach, but if you want to reach your audience, sometimes you got to use a rifle.
Hey, real quick. Yeah, I'm with you, Don. So actually, we have our last caller for this inaugural or test or proof of concept podcast on the line. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Name is John from Houston.
Hey, John, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Not bad. It's great to be last.
Last but not least.
Last but not least. Thank you very much. I was just kind of curious. New to this podcast, by the way.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Oh, awesome. You are most welcome. You guys think there might be a chance that we might have a Transformers Devastation sequel for the PS4 or the Xbox One or whatnot?
It's John.
Go ahead, Brian.
John, do you want to answer?
Yeah, John.
Chris or Rob?
Well, I mean, I need
thoughts.
to turn on the Google machine to go look at the sales for Devastation. It doesn't feel like Devastation lit the sales charts on fire. So, I mean, I think that would be your first challenge. I mean, I guess it's possible. I think the conceit with Devastation is that it's like 100% a nostalgia play.
1,010%.
But it's like they went like straight at the heart of G1 Transformers nostalgia, and then after that, so the sequel. I mean, after that, then what do you do for the sequel? Do you do Michael Bayverse because that's like over 10 years old now, or do you do season 3 that 1% of the population remembers? Do you do Beast Wars that 5% of the population remembers? I think they.
Do you do it set during the movie?
So yeah, I mean, they spend a lot of their bullets on the first one. I don't know how the first one sold.
Now the question is, with all of this, with the fact that it would be a different company ostensibly doing the follow-up game, it kind of like EA and who was it that did GoldenEye, the first one? Rare, where Rare did the follow up to GoldenEye years later, and it was just kind of odd. Would it make sense that a company would even try to follow up on Devastation when the people who were the driving force behind it would have nothing to do with it?
Yeah, that'd be tough.
I mean, that would only really happen, in my opinion, if Devastation had been a smash success, but Hasbro had still chosen not to maintain their partnership with Activision and wanted to pursue the franchise with a new contractor, and none of that seems to be the case.
Yeah, my thought is that it's good enough to deserve a sequel, but my thought from the sales and the situation with Activision is that sadly we will probably not see one.
Yeah.
Unless
Now,
develops
not
a video
having
game
played
on
the game and not having not having the more advanced systems yet, past my PS2, I just haven't. I've still got a PS4. I haven't hooked up since Christmas. I think whatever video game we see next, they might take cues from Devastation, playthroughs or features or design elements, but it'll be for, let's say, they might make a video game for War of Cybertron based on that continuity. But you'll see elements of Devastation built into that to pull the Devastation fans into it with these similar mechanics, kind of like how Energon Starscream and G2 Smokescreen transform identically, but they're completely different characters. They just share the same transformation skeleton. You're going to see some aspects of Devastation in whatever next game it will be to pull in the fans who I liked this mechanic, or I liked that mechanic, but it'll be for whatever the current push of the franchise is.
Yeah, I guess I could see, now that I think about it, if anything, I could see them taking a similar gameplay style and trying to capitalize on the Battle Royale craze that's happening right now in video games, and you maybe do a multiverse kind of crossover thing where it's just a bunch of the greatest hits from the different eras of Transformers just mashed up, and it's just, arena stuff like Fortnite. I mean, I could see that maybe, but
they could call it Transformers. They could call it Transformers Universe.
They'll always hang their hat on G1. So I don't know how fresh that would feel at the end of the day.
So, any other questions before we head out?
The only thing I might have suggested is maybe allow us to play as Decepticons instead of just Autobots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Well, it's like everybody was mad that last Star Wars game that you were supposed to be able to play as the Empire, and you did for like 2 missions or something like that, and then that was it. It's like, you want to be in the AT-AT, you want to be in the Star Destroyer, you want to be the Empire.
You know why you couldn't play as a Decepticon in Devastation? They would have had to completely restructure the game to support all the Decepticons being able to fly, because none of those city models are made to be looked at from the top down.
Yeah. Hey,
I will say War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron were fantastic, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
They were good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good work.
Thank you much.
Cool.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later. So awesome, yeah. So that's it for the calls this week. We'll try it again next week. John, were you done with your?
I think we proved our concept.
Okay. I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it.
I got one prompt for Don that I think will be good to close the show out on. So Don, I call this segment Money on the Table, and this is where you have like 2 minutes to just pick a topic where you think that there's money being left on the table in Transformers, and you can just talk about that, and we will not interrupt you or tell you no.
Okay. I think there's money being left on the table by Hasbro not having a collector's club in place yet. After this long after BotCon, after seeing the feedback from the fans, it may not be a lot of money, but what you're not making in a per dollar sale, you're getting in fan engagement. And people that, again, we're not the target audience, but we have shown that we do have the discretionary income to buy these figures from older molds that would cost a little more money to recreate, or things such as that. And them not having a collector's club in place is them leaving money on the table, even if it's only say 3 figures a year. Say it's another black box figure from a Titans Return character like the RC and the Grotesque was. But I think there's a lot of potential there. Again, it's not a huge dollar amount. It is money left on the table, as you said, but it's also they're not engaging the fans that have shown to have the discretionary income, and also engaging with the fans to say, hey, yes, we are getting a ton of G1 stuff. We're getting a ton of collectors focused stuff. The Rodimus, the Optimus with the Orion Pax. It's a War Dawn Orion Pax, for God's sake. We never thought we'd see that. But yeah, I think they're leaving money on the table, and they're also losing a lot of creating goodwill a little more directly between the fans and themselves.
I have a huge smile on my face right now. I love that idea for a segment, Chris. That was great.
Yeah.
Hey, so obviously this is proof of concept, and as far as the podcast goes, I knew that for the podcast version to be listenable, I'm going to have to do some pretty heavy editing, and I'm okay with that. But I thought this turned out really good. Other than some of the technical glitches, I enjoyed the hell out of this. So next week for the live stream, I'm going to start promoting this via Twitter. So we'll probably we'll have a slightly wider net cast. But I really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody out there who called in, except for Garrett. And I'm kidding. But we'll probably lengthen it a bit, I guess. We'll have some more defined segments, but we're trying to figure this out. I'll post this as an RFC extra. It'll be like RFC extra whatever number. Then it'll be like it's a done deal.
The pilot episode.
Pilot, yeah.
It's the backdoor pilot.
It's the backdoor pilot. But I had a lot of fun.
Okay. Oh God, I am not a Simon Earth. I am not a Simon Earth.
Hey, I like that episode.
You and maybe 2 other people, yes.
Garrett is the hero we deserve. Oh, that's great.
Also, CapMax Gaming says we need a Totally Spies cast for Don.
I've never watched the show, so I don't know.
That's surprising, Don. That seems right up your alley.
I think I was watching Oban Star Racers at that time. I think
that's probably a better show.
So Blade, did you send that to me or just me, or did that go out to everybody? Blade Raider made an awesome logo for It's a Done Deal.
I think you tweeted it to TF Radio.
God,
you retweeted it. I don't remember.
It was awesome. That's what we will use that. We will use that. So I guess technically I'm wrapping up right now the podcast. So people listening will. Next week, tfradio.net/live on May 1st? May 2nd, around, what do we say, 9:30 p.m. We'll do this again. So thank you very much.
Yes, and again, thank you everybody giving me a chance to have my own show and sort of leave my mark on, the TF Radio network. Hopefully it won't be a urine stain.
Yes. So we definitely want to do it before TFYLP gives you your own show, and then we lose you that a little bit more. So, and that's where I'm hitting stop on the recording. So,
oh snap! Beyblade cast. Okay.
Beyblade cast. That was fun. I really did enjoy that.
Yeah.
And Chris, I thought you were going to hate it. But you totally were great. So
I stayed on mute for like 90% of it.
Well, I muted myself too.
It's Don's show. I don't want to talk over him the whole time.
Yeah, so I'm going to edit out where I started talking for Don several times.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a reflex at this point, so we're going to have to kind of adjust to that.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, I feel like I'm actually contributing a little something special, even though it's going to be a witch's brew of this and that and bunch of stuff.
That's the thing, Don. Like, people actually care about calling in and talking to you. So, like, you're the perfect person to lead this project.
Yeah. And Steven also mentioned that we want to consider taking questions from the chat. We need to make sure we have Jason on to handle that.
Yeah. And also the fact is, I kind of like the idea of it's like a radio variety show kind of, where it's going to be a little bit different every week. So that way you never know what you're going to get. And it's, it's not like, we're talking about this, and this. It's like, could be anything.
Yeah, we don't have to use John's buy, sell, or money on the table every week either. We can come up with different topic prompts just to kind of bridge the segments.
I
too.
could bring back Bad Poets Corner.
Oh no!
No, I wouldn't do that.
Except if we do that, we have to make Don do the poetry.
Ooh.
Yeah, well,
The
you know,
headmaster
we could
Don's
have our own,
over it.
like, you know, Wheel of Morality, turn. Tell us the lesson that we
kinda
should have learned this
different.
episode.
Hey, and people, so you can also continue to, like, this may be our show where we mostly do a lot of the feedback. So again, that number is active constantly. I'm not going to answer it during the week, but you can leave us a voicemail there or send us a text, and we can mention that stuff there as well. So,
You know, if there's a topic you want me to cover, you know, just, you know, if you know, like I said, you can reach me on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. If there's a topic you want me to talk about, so with my work schedule, it's hard for me to keep up with everything going on. So if there's something you want to hear my thoughts on, or Brian's thoughts, or somebody's thoughts on, make sure you send me a link so I can actually read up on what the topic is. So I'm in case I could have missed it from just from like being at work or something.
Headmaster's dub poetry. I think Void Raider's onto something here.
yeah, I like that.
No, he's not.
Hey,
no, he's not.
People watching live, I'm going to go ahead and just kill the stream. It's a little bit late, so but we will be back next week. Thank you for everybody who participated, and those of you who hung around for this. You guys are the best.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Good night, everybody.
Hi, guys.